Some connections don't break you loudly. They break you quietly, in places no one can see. Sometimes the deepest pain isn't being rejected. It's being felt deeply, then suddenly avoided. There are people who don't walk away because they don't care. They walk away because caring feels dangerous. And if you've ever been avoided by someone who once felt close, this message is going to touch wounds you never spoke about. There are connections in this world that don't announce themselves. They don't arrive with promises, confessions, or dramatic beginnings. They slip in silently, almost dangerously. And before either soul understands what's happening, something irreversible has already begun. This was one of those connections. The kind people don't run from because it's weak, but because it's too powerful to control. For a long time, this person convinced themselves that distancing from you was the only way to survive what they felt. It didn't fit their timing. It didn't respect their plans. It didn't care about their obligations. And instead of fading, it grew stronger the more they resisted. They noticed how different they felt around you, how their guard dropped without effort, how your words echoed in their mind long after conversations ended, how silence with you felt louder than laughter with anyone else. That terrified them, so they chose distance, not because they were indifferent, but because they were overwhelmed. The connection felt forbidden to them, not always scandalous. Sometimes forbidden simply means the timing was wrong, but the feeling was right. One or both of you were emotionally unavailable. Life made it complicated. Loving you required courage they didn't have yet. You didn't chase, you didn't demand, you didn't manipulate. You simply existed, and that alone disrupted everything. They realized that if this continued, something in their life would have to change, and they weren't ready to choose, so they ran. Avoidance became their shield. They believed distance would weaken the pull, restore control, make you fade, but instead, you became louder inside them. You appeared in songs they didn't expect to feel so deeply, in quiet moments that should have felt peaceful, but didn't, in relationships that suddenly felt hollow, in successes that felt strangely empty. Avoidance stopped working, and that's when the epiphany began. Not all at once, not dramatically, but slowly, painfully. Why does nothing feel the same? Why do I still think about them? Why does it feel like I walked away from something real and then it hit them? You weren't a distraction, you weren't a temptation, you weren't a mistake, you were a mirror. You reflected a version of them that felt alive, honest, emotionally awake. Walking away from you meant walking away from themselves. Now they see it clearly, why your presence felt different, why conversations with you stayed with them, why no one else has touched them the same way since. They finally understand. The connection wasn't intense because it was forbidden. It was forbidden because it was intense, because it threatened to awaken a life they weren't brave enough to live yet. Right now, they carry emotions they don't know how to release. Not dramatic longing, but quiet regret. Not obsession, but constant awareness. They feel guilt for disappearing without explanation. Curiosity about who you've become. Fear that they missed their chance. Hope that maybe, just maybe, they haven't lost you completely, and most of all, they feel respect. Your strength haunts them. How you didn't beg, how you didn't chase, how you gave space without bitterness. That maturity changed them. This epiphany is happening now because distractions have failed. Something in their life slowed down, collapsed, or disappointed them. Stillness forced truth to surface, and in that silence, your energy returned. They finally admitted it. I didn't avoid them because the connection was wrong. I avoided them because it was real. And once that truth is seen, it cannot be unseen. Must be listen the last message especially for you. Don't be miss the last message. Listen. Be carefully. Here's the truth you need to hear. You didn't lose this connection. You outgrew the version of them that was afraid. Whether they return or remain silent, they are not the same person anymore because of you. You were a turning point in their life, a lesson they didn't know they were learning. And this is your quiet power. If they come back, it will be with humility, not avoidance. If they don't, it's because the awakening is still unfolding. Either way, you were never invisible. Some connections aren't meant to be rushed. Some awakenings come late, but deeply. If this felt personal, if someone came to your mind while listening, tell me in the comments, I felt this. Thanks for staying with me at last. So please like, share and subscribe the channel for more mindset-changing videos, because this channel will grow with your supporting and your love. Thanks a lot.